Hey, what's up guys? I'm sure you're wondering where the hell I've been, and I've got a very good answer for you all. On like the 15th of December, my mum and I were given notice that we had to look at our new house, sign for it on the 16th and be moved out by Christmas pretty much, and have the keys handed in on December 28th. So as you can probably understand, it was a big rush. A very big fucking rush, and there was, if you remember in my Johnny Depp video, I'd already started packing, but I didn't know that we were going to get shoved out so quickly. So once we got the word of that, everything stopped. Videos stopped, even my writing stopped. Anything that was fun stopped until we could get everything shifted into this new house before we had to hand our keys in. So currently I am in a barren room. This is my new room. My new setup isn't technically really a setup yet. This is a camera on a windowsill. My dad did buy me a microphone for Christmas, but everything is so topsy-turvy at the minute I haven't had a chance to sit down and figure out how to work it. So once everything is in order, I'll get that working, hopefully, to give my videos just a little bit more quality while everything else is just a mess. There's boxes everywhere, my TV's on my computer desk, there's leaves on the floor because where I am now, every time I walk out the front yard, leaves attach themselves to my shoes and there's just leaves everywhere, and all my books are in boxes. Nothing's really set up yet because I have no shelves, no cabinets, no anything just yet, so living the dream. But considering it had been so long since I uploaded a video, I decided to take some time while everything's kind of chill to, well, record this update for one thing, and also talk about something that you're probably more interested in, let's be honest, for on my channel. There's a reason why you watch my videos, and it's not to hear me talk about my life and my moving problems. So I'm going to talk about Doctor Who. Yay! Same thing as I did last year, except just a little bit later. I didn't watch the Doctor Who Christmas special this year. I didn't watch it last year either, and I actually had something I wanted to talk about though last year because they turned the Missy back into the Master, and I thought that was hilarious. I thought that they were obviously trying to backtrack without having to wholly admit that they were wrong in hiring Jodie as the Doctor, so they changed the Master back instead. From what I can tell from this episode that came out, it's pretty much just a rehash of Power of the Daleks, which fits in quite well with the video I uploaded a good few months ago about New Who borrowing from Classic Who. Power of the Daleks was basically about how it's actually a lost episode. It's animated. It was one of the ones that got animated because all the visual stuff was lost. I'm pretty sure it's Patrick Troughton's first story, and it's basically these humans are convinced that the Daleks are here to help them and they're good, and they think that they found them or built them or something like that. It's been a while since I watched them, so from what I glean, this episode was pretty much that, except obviously with Captain Jack and the Doctor was in prison, etc, etc, two of the companions left. Obviously I can't say for sure because I didn't watch it, so I'm not going to make a definitive statement saying that it is the Power of the Daleks rehashed again. I do think that bringing Captain Jack back was obviously an attempt to bring people in to tune in. I don't think at this point that the BBC care about people enjoying stories. I think they're more interested in getting view figures up so that they can say, hey look, this number of people tuned into Doctor Who. People are loving it again, even if like the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes is shit, or if people are just saying that they really didn't like it. Although I have seen quite a few people say that they enjoyed it, which is good. I'm glad. I'm happy you enjoyed it. But I definitely think that that's the BBC's agenda in bringing John Barrowman back, because John Barrowman has been aching to be brought back into Doctor Who for years now, and they decide to do it when the viewing figures are dropping and people are losing interest because of Chris Chibnall's writing. Yeah, I think that those two situations kind of fit together a bit too perfectly. I forgot to mention I'm now living in a bungalow, so you may hear my mum because like the living room is right here, like literally right beyond my wall. And then my neighbours are literally right beyond my wall too, so if you hear anything, that's what that is. Another thing that I've seen that's happened during this New Year's special, did I call it a Christmas special? It was a New Year's special, is that I saw on TikTok that they did a lot of nostalgia pandering in the sense of bringing up Rose, bringing up past Doctors, just to kind of do that cheap thing to get the audience's like heart to clench and for them to kind of be like, oh, I remember that, and it's not really clever writing and it doesn't really do anything smart to invoke that emotion from you. It's just bringing up something from the past to make you go, oh, I remember that. That makes me feel good to remember. It's not very inventive writing, and it's actually a very cheap way to get a reaction from an audience. So yeah, I'm really glad I didn't watch this episode, and besides the Daleks look really weird. Like really, really bad. There's also rumours going around at the minute that Jodie Whittaker is leaving. I haven't seen an official announcement yet, but obviously with this news there's a lot of people who claim to be grown-ups, mainly grown men, and I'm not normally someone to make an assumption like that, but mainly grown men being really over the top and dramatic about the fact that she's leaving, saying shit like, oh, good riddance, you ruined the show, you talentless git, and stuff like that. And I mean, come on man, grow up. Everyone had doctors they didn't like, even before Jodie Whittaker came in. So many people didn't like Colin Baker when he was the Doctor, and there's a load of conspiracy about whether that was to do with the BBC or the writers or other people involved, but whatever the case, there was people who didn't like Colin Baker, there was people who didn't like Sylvester McCoy, there was people who probably didn't like every single Doctor that there's been. But Twitter wasn't a thing back then, and I'd like to think that there wouldn't be people being such children about them leaving, but there probably would be. Let's get one thing straight. Jodie Whittaker is not talentless. I've seen other things that she's in. She is, if you want to give her the bare minimum compliment, she is a competent actress, and you can't say that she's not, because she is. Anyone who's not competent would be shit. Like absolutely terrible. Like can't even like speak a line and make it sound realistic. So if you want to give her the bare bones compliment, she is a competent actress, and I would go so far to say that she's much more than that. But that's the bare minimum that you, as a competent person yourself, has to realise that she is. And the fact that there's people celebrating that she's leaving the show, they say she was the downfall of the show, I have to disagree. I know, funnily enough, I don't think Jodie Whittaker was the downfall of Doctor Who. I think Doctor Who was going downhill way, way before she was even hired. The writing was terrible. They stopped caring about what they were creating, what they were doing. Apparently they gave Peter Capaldi a really hard time off set. He doesn't want to return for an anniversary, from what I've heard. And basically just everything was falling apart before Jodie even came in. I think they hired Jodie as part of a gimmick to maybe get people to tune in, and it did work for those first few episodes, but then it kind of fell off the wagon again when they realised how bad Chris Chibnall was at writing. For me, Jodie was just a final nail in a coffin that had been being built for a very long time, and I'm not going to completely put the blame on the show's downfall to her, and I wouldn't say that she's talentless either. I think everyone who's saying that are just, well, being children, and, well, I suppose anyone who has Twitter and uses it to spread hatred is a child, so makes sense. The important question now is, will I tune in if Jodie Whittaker does leave? If they hire someone else, will I try again with the show? If Chris Chibnall's writing, probably not. I'll have to see who they pick to be her replacement, and then I'll kind of make my judgment from there, but I don't have much hope if Chris Chibnall is still the head writer, because he's worse than Stephen Moffat, and Stephen Moffat used to go nuts if he didn't have a head writer, like, above him telling him to calm the hell down. Chris Chibnall is what Stephen Moffat probably wishes he could have done, but didn't have the balls to do, which is not a good thing. But we'll have to see if I actually do decide to tune in after Jodie Whittaker leaves. I don't know yet. I don't know. Especially if Chris Chibnall's still there. It's all very at the minute, and she hasn't even confirmed that she's leaving. It's just a rumour, so don't spread hate if she is leaving. Pat her on the back, tell her, you know, good job, nice run. Even if it's not true. I mean, Jodie Whittaker's at the bottom of my list of doctors, and I do sort of get a ugh every time I see her now, because I relate her to Doctor Who being shit. It's the same with Peter Capaldi, and it sucks. I like Peter Capaldi as the Doctor, but the writing was terrible. So, just be nice, fuck's sake. You don't know her, you don't know what she was going through, you don't know what anyone is going through when you send them fucking hatred. Just don't be a big fucking whale about it, alright? Just get on with your life, my god. And this is coming from someone whose childhood was Doctor Who as well, okay? I know you're saying it was your childhood is being ruined. I get it, okay? But stop it, alright? You're making us look bad. You're making me look like a big Wayne when it's only you being a Wayne. So that's all I've got for the minute, guys. I just wanted to post a video to sort of show that I'm still alive. Even if I'm living in a bare box room at the minute, but things are good. We got moved in time, and everything else from here is just sort of dealing with lockdown and kind of working around getting everything sort of fixed, because I have nothing in this room at the minute, no shelves, no cabinet, no anything, so I'm going to have to work that around lockdown. But you know, that's not exactly an emergency, so hopefully I'll be able to update my channel more regularly now, but we'll have to see. So stay with me, okay? I promise. I wasn't expecting this sudden change, okay? So I'll see you next time, guys. Remember, leave Jodie alone, alright? Leave the woman alone, for Christ's sake. And I'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.